Hello guys, welcome to the Sky Show, and today I'm going to be talking about benefits of fasting as promised and my experience of fasting for 72 hours. So this is how it goes, guys. 72 hours fasting is no joke, and this is not for anyone who has not even done intermittent fasting. So you have not done fasting for 16, 20 or even 14 hours, do not try this. Alright, start slow and begin. Starting to get into the fast is as important as breaking the fast. Alright, so you can't just simply start eating your normal food and get into 72 hours fasting immediately on day one. Alright, so it starts off slowly. So even leading up to the day that I was starting to fast, I've already started doing intermittent fasting. In fact, in a week I do around 3 to 4 days of intermittent fasting, which is a window period of fasting for 16 hours, and the remainder of around 8 hours I keep to eating meals. 2 meals a day, and that's what I do. Alright, so this is something which I am used to. I've been doing it for almost 2 to 3 years, and it was easier for me to get into 72 hours because I'm already used to doing this 16 to 18 hours fasting. So before we get down to the 72 hours fast, let me break down how an intermittent fasting for 16 hours works. Alright, so typically my last meal is at around 7 to 8 p.m. the night before, and that's it, the end. And then I skip breakfast and I head to lunch around 1 or 2 and sometimes even 12, depending on my last meal time. So you can do that. Alright, so the most frequently asked question, FAQ, is, doctor, would I get gastritis or gastric? The answer is no, you would not get gastric by doing fasting properly or intermittent fasting. But if you eat the wrong thing daily, then yes, it will increase stomach acidity and lead to gastritis, not because of fasting. Nope, myth busted. So one important thing about this fasting is water. In fact, this fasting is known as water fasting or salt fasting, and I use Himalayan sea salt, 1 tablespoon per day, and also with magnesium inside it. Morning of day 1, nothing, everything is fine. I'm used to fasting, so it doesn't really bother me if I'm taking breakfast or not. Afternoon, no issues. Night, still no issues. I'm already at 24 hours. Bear in mind that I started fasting at 8 o'clock the night before, and it's 8 p.m. today. Nothing happens, I'm okay, everything is fine. Getting into day 2 after 24 hours. Bear in mind, this is the most challenging part of the fast, because your body now is going to switch from using glucose into using lipids and fats and ketone bodies. So this is where the switch happens. Alright, and also water, at least 3 to 4 liters of water with salt. Remember, this is called a salt fasting. So 1 teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt taken throughout the day. So you break it down, 1 liter of water with Himalayan sea salt, and you take small sips throughout the day. So keep it in a separate flask and take that throughout the whole day. Alright, and 48 hours is the most challenging part. Alright, and what do I feel? I felt muscle aches, especially if you are someone who's actively working out, which I did 2 days before starting my fast, and your muscles are now getting into a mode, as I said, from using glucose, carbohydrate based, into using your body's fat. So yes, getting into this fast means that you're going to use your body fat as fuel instead of relying on carbohydrates, which is a good point if you're planning to lose weight. At day 2, your body is now going to switch into something also called as ketosis. When you hit 48 hours mark, your body will switch into ketosis, means you're going to be using all your body fats to replenish your daily activity instead of using carbohydrates. And this is the point where you start seeing fat loss in your body. Alright, and a lot of people who are doing ketogenic diet, if they want to switch over into a ketosis phase, they use this method of 48 hours to 72 hours of fasting and switch to eating more keto based food. When would you want to introduce carbohydrates back into your diet? The next day, day 4, day 5? Or if you want to continue being in a ketotic phase, you can continue doing this. So as I said earlier, a lot of people who do keto diet start with 72-hour fasting, get into a ketosis, and then continue being in it. But if you want to break this ketosis and go into eating healthy carbs, I highly recommend that. Now, I've said getting into the fast is as important as breaking the fast. And what did I use to break my fast? Bone broth. And in this video, I will also be showing you how to make bone broth. Simple, easy steps using only even your rice cooker or a slow cooker. What the broth looks like. See, the marrow is shrunk, it's fully cooked. It's got lots of fats, some meat, celery, and pumpkin. Some of you asked me if this is safe, if this is something which I recommend. As I have said earlier in this video, if you have not done intermittent fasting, 14, 16, 24 hours, 20 hours, do not get into this fast. This fast is not for you. Is there any research about fasting? Yes, there is. In 2016, there was a study done for around 1,422 participants for a whole year of study, fasting between 4 and 21 days. What did they observe during these 4 to 21 days of fasting? Well, they observed the emotional well-being of a person, improvements in cardiovascular risk, and general health got better. The most important component about fasting is something called autophagy. What does autophagy mean? It means that your cells are cleaning up, repairing, and throwing all these free radicals away in a more efficient system. Apart from autophagy, another thing which is the most important thing about this fasting is reducing your insulin resistance. On a daily basis, when you're taking a lot of carbohydrates, sugars, your insulin is going to shoot up sky high. And this is the other thing, if you get stomachache in the morning when you wake up and you think that's gastritis, think again, what you ate last night might have been high in sugar. Now we all know that Malaysia has one of the most obese populations in Southeast Asia, and some say 30% of our population are considered obese. So if you want to get into fasting, guys, please do, as it will reduce your insulin resistance tremendously. How often do you need to do 72-hour fasting? Well, depending, I am thinking of doing it every 2 to 3 months once. That's okay. But of course, if you are doing intermittent fasting, which is 16 to 18 hours a day, I would recommend to do it around 3 to 4 times a week. That is for optimal results. This is something I'll guarantee. If you're doing 3 to 4 times a week of intermittent fasting, guys, measure your body fat percentage before you start. By the end of the first month of doing intermittent fasting for 3 to 4 times a week, you're going to see a fat loss of at least 3 to 5%, and that is a lot, guys. I hope with this video you guys get a glimpse of how fasting can benefit you. And if there's further questions that you want to ask, you can always text us or drop us an email or text us here on our YouTube page, comment below. Guys, if you have liked our videos, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our page. Thank you very much. See you guys soon with another video. Bye bye.